Okay, let me start this. Because I just messed up trying to make the first video with the starting.
They say that one man's trash is another man's treasure, but I can't see a reason why it can't be the same man who finds treasure in his own garbage. From this video, you'll see that there are genius people who, instead of just throwing stuff away, actually fix their stuff and create something awesome. Amazing! This could be either the laziest or cleverest way to turn a failure into a victory. Either way, placing a frame around a hole you made in your house's wall, and even placing a tiny plaque on it, just gives your home more of a lived-in and cozy feel. Cherish those memories, guys. Steampunk freaks would fall head over heels upon seeing this beautiful chandelier. What makes it even more awesome is that this is a kind of project that contributes immensely to the environment. Think of just how much metal has been repurposed to make this chandelier, instead of having it lying in a dumpster somewhere. Car repairs are expensive, that much is true. Plus it just brings back your vehicle's condition to its original plain state, which is boring. Instead of going to the shop though, someone had the creativity to make his dented car door into something worthy of being in a museum by painting a landscape over it. Pianos are heavy musical instruments that you just can't lug around. So what would you do if they can't play sweet music anymore? I mean, you could just leave it in front of your house. But doing something with it like this is even better. Instead of calling your local moving company, why not try turning it into a gorgeous shelf like this one? Well, if this isn't one of the cutest graphics card holders you've ever seen, I don't know what is. Now this is the reason why you shouldn't just call those little plastic bricks stupid toys. They can be pretty handy hardware tools as well. Then again, this may be the reason why Lego's prices have gotten ridiculously expensive. A shovel's life is pretty sad, if you ask me. They scoop dirt until they're broken and are thrown away. This awesome bench right here changes that perception though, which turns the handy tool into a powerful piece of outdoor furniture with an industrial twist to it. Any man in their right mind would burst out the epoxy to cover up a hole in his house's wall. But a true genius dude would turn it into one of the most action-packed scenes from his favourite cartoons. Just look at it, the Mutant Turtle Quartet. Looks like they're ready to kick some shredder ass. Kids are a handful, but not if you're a mum who has magic hands that can turn your child's wall scribbles into a beautiful design. I mean, why scrub out your son or daughter's memories when you can be part of it? In fact, this one makes me tear up a bit. Appreciate your mums, guys. Ripped jeans makes you look like a greasy dirtbag who hasn't showered in a month. Fashioning those tears into cute little monsters, however, makes you look like a freaking beastmaster that demands respect from everyone. So with just a little glue and some thread, you can go from punk to Picasso in no time. Barrels are boring. You put stuff in them and take them out. That's it. However, with just a bit of sewing and upholstering, you can turn that unimpressive container into one of the prettiest couches you've ever seen. Plus, if your home ever gets flooded, you can use this as a makeshift lifeboat. There's a saying that you can't fix what's broken, but that doesn't mean you can't make it better than what it was. This broken vase was mended with some golden thread, and just goes to show exactly that. Although, how you do it is a different story. I'm guessing it's magic. Fireplaces aren't really the kind of things that scream badass. That is, unless said fireplace is made from a hollowed out underwater mine. In which case it makes you look like the most intimidating ship captain this side of the seven seas. By melding Lego bricks with broken brick walls, the person behind this project has proven for all time that those Danish construction toys can literally be used to build a city. The only problem now is stepping on Legos hurts like hell, so just imagine having to sit on them. Wear and tear is unavoidable for shoes, considering that they're constantly pounded down on the ground. But just with a little glue and some glitter, you can make your worn-out heels fabulous again. When you look at it, it looks even better fixed than what it probably looked like when it was new. So you've had a little too much food, and you can't get into your pants anymore. Short of donating them for goodwill, you can opt to just remove your jean pockets and restitch them on some board, which turns them into handy little pen holders like this one. Accidents happen, and in a world where smartphones could easily crack if you ever drop them, you have to be extra careful. Well, who needs to be careful when you have some highlighters? A little shading on those cracks and you've turned your crappy phone case into something psychedelic. It's a total mystery how this isn't the norm for old suitcases. I mean, they're perfect for storage, they're pretty sturdy, and they're not so heavy that you can easily work on them. Case in point, this suitcase repurposed into a very vintage looking medicine cabinet. To be honest, this fairy garden makes me want to go out into my garden and start smashing my own pots, so I can just make one of my own. It's all well and good having a pot to grow your tomatoes in, but growing your produce in a fairy garden makes it simply look magical. When you're done making babies, the crib won't have much use after a couple of years, so this project right here makes sure that that old thing doesn't go to waste. It's actually perfect to make a desk out of your old crib, when you consider that your child would need to go to preschool once it's done breastfeeding. Turning your old skateboard into a swing is the right move once you finally realise that you're never going to pull off that 900-degree backflip. Careful though, just because you're not flying off a half-pipe doesn't mean you're not going to break any bones on this playground fixture. Ever wonder what to do with all those copies of Twilight you have now that you're done with your wimpy teen vampire phase? Wonder no more, because you can use those bundles of paper to fix your house's walls and beams. The fancy, world-like atmosphere this project gives off is just a bonus. Once the contents of your glass bottles have been emptied, they're pretty much useless. However, you can always turn them into something like this nifty hanger with just the right tools from your garage. Of course, don't forget that this is still glass, so make sure you don't place things on it that could make it shatter. This chair is an example of simplicity at its finest. You won't even need power tools for this one, just an old chair frame, some belts you're not using anymore, and a whole lot of thatching. Sure, it could take a bit of work, but well worth it just by looking at how economic this chair is. Instead of smashing your guitar to fulfill your rockstar fantasies, the next best thing you could do, when you can't play with it anymore, is hollowing out its body and turning it into a shelf like this one. You'll instantly have a very stylish piece of furniture in your own home. Don't junk those old loafers of yours. Instead, just dump some seeds and soil in it, and let Mother Nature do its work. Additionally, all that fungus from your stinky ass feet works as great fertilizer for your hillbilly chic flower pot. Win-win indeed. This chair seriously looks like it came straight out of the world of Game of Thrones. Just look at it. You can just imagine sitting on a dragon's spinal column with this thing. You don't have to go to Westeros for this one though. Just some power tools and old coat hangers. Chipped bird baths can easily be turned into something glamorous by gluing shards of old DVDs onto them. Adding to that, you're actually not just recycling, but also helping our feathered friends out there, which makes this doubly environmentally friendly. The person who did this easily belongs to the list of the world's greatest pranksters. I can only imagine how passers-by feel when they suddenly see the face of a possessed Jack Nicholson smiling at them from one of their neighbour's fences. Don't toss out those metal forks you have at home when you think you can't eat with them anymore. Rather, just bend them a bit and fasten them to your wall with just a bit of clay, and you can have your very own improvised coat hanger. Sure, you could have a total pussy magnet of an automobile, but I'm pretty sure you can't brag about it being powered by Mickey Mouse and friends. The person who made this belongs to the rare few who can make magic out of damaged things, and we're all the better for it. Hollow out your old phones, and you can turn them into your very own coin purse. This also doubles as a security measure against thugs. Just imagine the look on the face of any mugger who thought they managed to steal your iPhone. Going to the shop to have your car's dents fixed costs a whole lot of cash. So what could work as a great alternative to that? Well, an expertly placed sticker with comic book sound effects on your vehicle's dent makes you look like you just fought the Hulk, which is awesome. Cracked mirrors are just unseemly, and even potentially harmful. However, you can cover whatever cracks there are with just a bit of superglue and some plastic tiles. In the end, you'll have a more stylish mirror with no visible flaws on it. Got any broken tennis rackets? Hold your horses and don't toss them out just yet, since you could repurpose them into a vanity mirror just by attaching some reflective glass on it. In fact, this one works well as a perfect DIY gift too.
How long is this? Oh,
cracked and water-damaged walls look awful, but when you have just enough imagination, you can turn them into a piece of gorgeous street art. Where there was a dump, there's now an imaginary mountain, and the grass surrounding it makes it look more bewildering. Got any genius fixes of your own? And which one did you like the most? Share them with me in the comment section down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe and click that bell icon to stay updated. Thanks for watching.
Well, that one's going to be well.
Retail me not.
Well, I will be going now. I just have to go now. Bye.